Hello, everyone who's just recently joined for the webinar today. We're just going to give people a few more minutes to come who have registered before we begin. So please be patient as we let the rest of the group populate, and we'll be getting underway in just a few more minutes. Thanks again. All right, I think we're going to get underway. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Jonah Oken from the Caregiver Space, and I want to welcome you all for coming and joining today's webinar, Ask the Expert, the Role of Nutrition in Cancer Prevention and Survivorship. Today we're going to be covering questions including how does sugar feed cancer, how much sodium should I eat, do I have to eat organic? We're going to be covering a lot more questions than that, and there'll be opportunities for you to ask questions to Jennifer Wolfshohl, who I'll be introducing in just a moment. Let me show you how to move forward with that. So if you are a Mac user, you'll see on your screen at the top of the page there's a little bubble for a chat window to open up. For PC users, that should already appear on the left side of your screen. So whenever questions come up during the course of the webinar today, please feel free to write them right into the chat bar, and our presenter will either respond to them at the moment or she will get to that a little bit later on. So please, this is an opportunity for you to learn, so we welcome the questions you have pertaining to nutrition and cancer survivorship. With that said, let me introduce our two sponsors for today's event. Meals to Heal, which is a comprehensive nutrition solution. This organization is dedicated to making the lives of cancer patients and their caregivers easier and less stressful by providing services which relieve them of the significant time, energy, and worry associated with ensuring proper nutrition for themselves and their loved ones. The services that Meals to Heal provides includes weekly home delivery of fresh, healthy meals to help cancer patients and their caregivers before, during, or after treatment. They also provide nutritional coaching service from highly experienced oncology certified registered dietitians. They provide cancer survivorship programs and supportive product market with easy access to reputable oncology nutrition supplements and products. And they also serve to offer free access to scientifically proven evidence-based nutrition information. The other sponsor for today's event, the Caregiver Space, is an online community dedicated to connecting caregivers so that they can understand a community who really understands the experience of caregiving. It's a space to express yourself openly, to cope with stress, frustration, isolation, and loss. It's a venue for online discussions to take place about the caregiver experience. There's opportunities for live chats and to engage in topics of interest for family caregivers. We offer a lifestyle library that is full of meaningful content about caregiving and self-care practices. We provide content including fitness, nutrition, sleep, mental health, bereavement coaching, and therapeutic writing. And again, this is always a free service, so caregivers can access this online from their home 24 hours a day. Now, to introduce our presenter so we can get underway, Jennifer Wolfshohl has spent the past 7 years working with patients and caregivers on dietetics at Children's Medical Center Dallas, University Hospital, and Simmons Cancer Center. She is credentialed as a certified specialist in oncology and a member of the Oncology Dietetic Practice Group for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. And with that said, I'm going to pass the mic over to Jen to lead us in this webinar. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you so much, Jonah, and I'm truly excited to be here this afternoon, and thank you all so much for joining us. Hopefully we can tackle all of your nutrition questions and get some answers. So, let's see. So I'd like you to please tweet your questions with the hashtag #AskTheExpert or type your questions into the chat as Jonah explained how to do earlier. So one of the first questions that I get all the time is, how do I fight fatigue? I'm ready to go to bed at 5 p.m. after I eat dinner and I just have no energy throughout the day. Well, one of the best things is to focus on protein. Protein is made up of, the building blocks of protein are red and white blood cells. And so red blood cells, they bring oxygen through to all the tissues of the body. So that is really going to help if you focus on your protein. It's going to maintain strength, rebuild tissue. It's also the key nutrient for maintaining immune function. So you'll feel healthier, you'll feel better, you'll feel more energized throughout the day. Not only should you focus on eating a good source of protein throughout the day, any kind of baked, broiled, grilled, lean meats. There's also beans, peanut butter, nut butters. Lots of plant-based proteins are also great as well. But you need to also focus on your fluid level. And fluids are really important because they're required to maintain adequate blood volume and electrolyte balance. So without both of these, you're going to feel fatigued. And it's not only important to eat one meal a day, but to try and have multiple small, frequent meals and snacks so you're constantly fueling your body with the foods that it needs. So with the recommendations for fluids are actually 8 to 10 cups caffeine-free, non-alcoholic liquids a day. And anything clear liquid counts, so if you can see through it, it counts as a liquid. Popsicles, juice, broth-based soup, Jell-O, those can all count as fluids. Even so, if you're not a fan of water, you have some alternatives there. The next question I get all the time are, what are some high-calorie, high-protein foods to help gain or maintain weight, especially while you're going through treatment? And this is really important. Nuts or nut butters are excellent. seeds, granola. The bulk bins at the grocery stores are available now. Making trail mix at home really easy. You can pack up a couple bags full of your favorite snacks, of your favorite granola or nuts, seeds, and then when you get home, you can mix them all together, make your own trail mix, and make single servings to enjoy throughout the week. These are also great because they're very high in calories for a very small amount. So only a third of a cup is a serving of granola, and so that's going to have extra calories available for you in a small amount if you don't feel like eating a large portion. Greek yogurt is also excellent, and all of the above can be added to your Greek yogurt. You can put it on as a topper for some whole grain waffles. That would be delicious. Avocados or any kind of dips are also good. I have some patients that make spinach artichoke dip with Greek yogurt, and they love that. Any kind of chicken salad, tuna salad, pimento cheese, any kind of spread that you can eat with crackers is also a great way to get the most bang for your buck. Also, any kind of cheese is great. Flaxseed oil. Flaxseed's been in the press a lot lately, and so flaxseed oil is also a great way to sneak in some calories. Fatty fish. Again, the portion size is pretty small, and you get a lot of calories for a small portion. You're also going to get those great omega-3 fatty acids from that as well. Eggs are also excellent. Eggs are the perfect protein. They contain all the amino acids that you need, that your body needs, and so any type of eggs, eggs are so versatile as well. You can make breakfast burritos out of them. You can make casseroles. You can make deviled eggs, egg salad. The list goes on. And typically eggs are one of those foods that people can pretty well tolerate. They sit easy on a stomach, and they can be as bland or as spicy as you want them to be. So they're kind of a great food to throw into the mix. So why is it important to watch or use caution when it comes to supplements? What supplements should I take? Is always a question I get. I really don't recommend supplements. If you want to take a standard one a day, not specialized for men or for women, you can check out the nutrition label. Make sure that there is not one nutrient that greatly exceeds 100% of the daily value, and that should be okay. Also make sure that there's no herbs or any other additives to that supplement, and you should be just fine. But it's important to use caution. Not only are they not FDA regulated, but a lot of these supplements contain blood thinning or thickening properties, which if you are a cancer patient or if you're just taking medications for diabetes, heart disease, chronic kidney disease, whatever it might be, there's a good chance that some of the supplements you're taking might interfere with those medications. So they can also lead to altered metabolism of the drugs that you're taking. I like to use the example of grapefruit because people are very familiar that with grapefruit, you're supposed to avoid grapefruit if you're taking a statin to lower your cholesterol, and that's because the grapefruit uses the same metabolic pathway as the statin drug, and so it's important that we want the active form of the medication to be what we're getting, what the doctor prescribed. So we don't want to alter the metabolism of any drugs. Similarly, a lot of supplements use similar pathways as some of the medications that you're taking, and so you could either increase or decrease the amount of the medications that you're supposed to be getting, which is something that we'd want to avoid. There's some research out that states that antioxidants, high doses in supplement form, in pill form, not in fruits or vegetables, but specifically in pill form, may interfere with chemo and radiation, some types of chemo and radiation. So it's best to just use your diet, eat from the rainbow, and try to get all of your antioxidants in that way. Hormonal properties, there's so many supplements that act like estrogen in the body. So if you are a woman, I would definitely avoid that, especially if you have breast cancer or you have a history of breast cancer in your family or any other female-type cancers, ovarian cancer. We don't want to have excess estrogens circulating in the body. So I'm trying to avoid those supplements that act like estrogen also. High doses can lead to herb and vitamin toxicity. And it's just important to fact check. So whatever you want to take, I would actually run it by your dietitian if you have a dietitian at your cancer center or whatever treatment center you're at, or ask your pharmacist or your physician to take, look at the supplements that you're taking and compare them to your medication list and make sure that there's not going to be a drug nutrient interaction amongst those. Some other great resources, the Memorial Sloan Kettering Foundation has a great herbal database, and what you can do is you can go on there and enter any herb that you're taking or any supplement, and it will tell you the potential drug nutrient interactions to be mindful of. QuackWatch is also a great website, and it is pretty up to date with all the new and greatest supplements that come out on the market. It's pretty current, so you should be able to find what you're looking for and make sure that it doesn't interfere with any of your medical treatment plan. So I'm going to take a couple minutes to discuss this. This is a really hot topic, and it has been for a while. Does sugar feed cancer? And it's important that we understand that sugar feeds every cell in our body, and that our bodies need glucose for energy. So sugar is, the molecule is glucose, and that is what our body's best and most efficient energy source is. It's our brain's preferred energy source. So even if you cut every bit of sugar out of your diet, your body will make sugar from other sources to feed your brain. So protein and fat stores will be broken down to make sugar. Now, when you're going through treatments, it's extremely important to preserve your own protein stores and your own fat stores. So, sugar does not feed cancer cells any more than sugar feeds all cells in our body. It's very important to remember that through treatment we want to spare our stores, our protein stores and our fat stores. So you want to make sure that your body's not metabolizing that. Even though sugar doesn't exactly feed the cancer cells, it is a good idea to limit the amount of simple sugars and to avoid producing excess insulin. So what exactly is insulin? Let's see. So insulin can tell cells to grow. For healthy cells, this is a great thing, but insulin can also encourage cancer cells to grow more. So what we really want to do is just have very stable blood sugar levels. We don't want to eat anything that's going to send our blood sugar soaring high and then come crashing down. When your sugar soars high, the body makes extra insulin to bring it down, and so we want to avoid those peaks of highs and lows, because that extra surplus of or surge of insulin can encourage the cancer cells to grow. So in summary, sugar, it doesn't feed cancer cells, but a lot of sugar can cause bodies to produce too much insulin, which is not a good idea for health in general, and it leads to weight gain and diabetes and all types of things. So should we avoid all sugar? And the answer is no, but what we need to focus on are complex carbohydrates, non-processed foods, things that are put on the earth for us to eat. So natural is always best. The vegetables, the fruits, the whole grains, grains that have not been processed, that in legumes or beans. This is because the lack of processing, it has the protein, fat, and fiber that remain intact. We don't lose that in processing. Processing rids the foods of the protein, fat, and fiber, and these are key components to help regulate insulin. They slow the absorption of sugar, and that means that your body does not overproduce insulin. So these are the things that we really should be focused on. Another question that is very popular are, what about organic foods? Now, there are some possible benefits of organic, and typically speaking, they are higher in vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and other healthy nutrients when compared to conventional produce. It's also a way to reduce your personal exposure to pesticides. You have control over that. However, all the studies that have been done, the major limitation is that all the sample sizes are very small and only have considered nutrition content of a few selected foods. So there's no real hard evidence to support this. So our real concern should be for who grows and who processes the foods. The pesticides, these people are the ones that are exposed to the pesticides the most. And, ultimately, the pesticides end up in the environment after they wash and process the foods anyway, and we all share the same environment. So unfortunately, there's no getting rid of it altogether. But from a community-oriented or global perspective, if we're looking out for the health of our community and the planet, it does make sense to limit pesticides. But personally speaking, it might not have that big of an impact on you because we all share the same environment and we're all still going to be exposed to the pesticides in the water or the soil. So no matter how you eat these foods, conventional or organic, you will benefit from them. So it's still important to focus on your diet, even if you don't, even if you can't afford to buy organic, that's completely fine. Just still eat your fruits and vegetables, and I would rather you not use it as an excuse, as a reason to not have them, because the benefits are, the ends justify the means when you just eat vegetables and fruits in general. So a great resource is the Environmental Working Group, and it's www.ewg.org. And what that group is, it puts forth a list of the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. And so if you are interested in buying organic, it shows you the 12 foods that are most likely to contain pesticides. And this list changes throughout the seasons, as sometimes if something is out of season, they might require more pesticides than others. And so this is a great list, so you can focus your energy on those Dirty Dozen, those 12. And also you can save money on the Clean 15, the 15 foods that are least likely to be contaminated with pesticides. So that's a great resource. Now, another topic is, do I need to avoid acidic foods? And you may have heard that having an acidic environment in the body can encourage cancer cells to grow. And so a lot of people, one of the big trends that I hear all the time is that people are trying to have a more alkaline diet, a more basic diet. And this is a misunderstanding about the connection between cancer and acid in the body. Cancer cells actually create acid. This can make a small area around the cancer cells more acidic, but this does not make the whole body more acidic. In other words, the GI tract does a great job very tightly regulating the acid-base balance in the body. And so extra acid in the body does not cause cancer. It's just the opposite. Cancer cells create extra acid. So, like I said, the body controls acid balance very tightly. Tiny changes can occur, but nothing significant enough without serious side effects or illness can happen from eating foods in the diet. Really, you would have to eat baking soda to send your body into a more alkaline state, and that would send you directly to the hospital. So we really don't recommend that. It's very important to honor your body and honor the acid-base balance that it is capable of keeping. And to remember the power of plants, plants are excellent, and as we know, the vegetables, fruits, and legumes, they do make the body less acidic. Modestly speaking, meat and protein tend to make the body a little bit more acidic. So this may not change the acid around the cancer cells itself, but we know that it's good for the body in other ways, so might as well focus on those fruits and vegetables and legumes already. Now, keep in mind, you don't need to be a complete vegetarian to obtain the benefit from eating more plants. You just need to eat more vegetables and fruits and a little less meat. A good rule of thumb is the plate method, and trying to have 2/3 to 3/4 of your plate covered by vegetables, fruits, or legumes, plant-based foods, and the other 1/4 to 1/3 of the plate can contain your meat, chicken, or fish. Its portion sizes are everything, and really just trying to eat the majority of your diet as plant-based is a really great place to start. And like I said, it has so many other benefits from just those, creating a little bit less of an acidic environment. There's so many more benefits to having the fruits and vegetables that we don't even know about yet. So let's see. One great resource is Caring for Cancer, and this is it answers very clearly a lot of the hot topics going on right now, and so it's a great resource for you to check out. I have the website here, www.caringforcancer.com, and if you have more questions, it gives a very thorough explanation, and it's one of my favorite resources. The Meals to Heal website also has a tremendous database, and it has some great resources for fact-checking as well. And so here is our contact information. One last thing about Meals to Heal, you also have free access to Natural Standard, which is a great resource, and I encourage you to get on and check out all the other free information and educational materials that we have available. It's extremely helpful, and the information is invaluable. So here's our contact information. I'm happy to answer more questions. Please type them into the in-meeting chat or tweet, and we are here to answer any questions. Thank you. We'll wait a few more minutes for some questions to come through. Okay, if there's no further questions, thank you so much for joining us today. And again, thank you for being interested in Meals to Heal and the Caregiver Space. And we are happy to provide any further answers to questions, or happy to provide you with free resources that to take advantage of. Please look into us and give us a call or email if you need us. Okay, I have one question that just popped on through. What are some of the worst conventional fruits to steer clear from this summer? And really, there's no fruits to steer clear of, but the berries are most likely to be contaminated with pesticides, especially if they're imported. Anything imported, so grapes are another one. Just make sure to wash them well when you get them. And to try and buy local, that's always best to reduce the risks of pesticides. If you buy local and you know they're in season, then that's excellent. Here in the South, our strawberries are to die for right now, and so that's something I feel really comfortable with buying just right off the side of the road, and anything like that is great at this time. But berries, if they're not in season for you at this time, or if you're buying imported things, then it's always good to wash them well, or that's something you might want to consider buying organic. And now I have a question that just popped through about red meat, and really the American Institute for Cancer Research recommends keeping your red meat consumption less than 18 ounces in the course of a week. And so you can still have red meat in moderation, so that moderation is key. Just remember that the portion size is the palm of your hand, so as long as you keep it to less than the 18 ounces in the course of the week, I would encourage you to try and find a lean cut of meat. It can it's a great source of protein, which the protein is very available and very easy for the body to use to make those red and white blood cells that we were talking about. And it can be a great source of energy, a great source of iron. So as long as you are eating it within moderation, you can enjoy it within moderation a couple times a week. It's something that can fit into any diet. Really, one question just popped through about any new trends in nutrition and cancer, and I would say the one that comes to mind, I think the paleo diet is becoming